All right, this video is on translations. It's actually the first lesson of the first unit, transformations. So the beginning of our binders, I hope that you're going to be organized. We did have an exponents review. That was the exponent rules that we did like the first day and into the second day of class. We're going to call that page 1, and then we're going to add translation notes, page 2. We're going to do some investigations, which are 2 on one side, 2 on the other. And then we're going to have a page, there's actually a couple pages that go together, 4 and 5 for translations homework. So if you want to take a minute to fill that in, if you don't already have it. Now let's move on into translations. Translations is when we slide a figure across a graph. We're going to slide it. For example, I'm going to start with, excuse that. I'm going to start with the flag, and in this case, the flag has A, B, C, D, E, and it looks like a blue colored flag on my left. Yours, of course, is black and white print. The flag over here is A with a mark. It's a prime. We say prime. B with a mark, C with a mark, D with a mark, and E with a mark. One thing to know is this is known as the pre-image. Okay? It is like your before image. This is the one that you begin with. So you would go to this one first, and you would say, okay, there's the positions of my coordinates of my points, A, B, C, D. That makes the flag. Then we're going to slide this across the graph. So it's like we go this way. When we do, we end up with an after image, and the after is simply called the image. Okay? And it would be the one that you would look at second, okay? So we have a first picture and a second picture, we have a before, and we have an after. So what I'd like to do is we want to be able to talk about, describing what happens in words and also writing a function rule for that. All right, so I want you to help understand, I want to help you understand how there is a pattern and how it works. So I want to plot the points. I want to go to A. A is this point down here, and when I get to that point, I have to go -5, 2. Now, to plot points, you always start in the center, and you're going to walk. It's like walking across the room. So you're going to walk either to the left, you're going to walk to the right, then you're going to go up, or you're going to go down. Okay? So plotting points is left and right first, up and down second. So I'm going to go to -5, up 2. So I'm going to go -5, up 2, and that's where I get to A. How do I get to A prime? Well, from the center, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up 2. So I'm going to write that down. This is not the first point A, it's A prime. You put a little accent mark, and you say prime. So we said that was 7, 2. All right? Now, I want to do the same thing. When I go to B, it says I go -5, 5, so I go back 5 and up 5. So to get to B prime, I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm actually going to B prime over 7 and up 5. Number 6, letter C. Okay, I go back and up to C. Go -5 up 7, so I'm actually going to go +7 and up 7. So C prime is over 7 and up 7. All right, D. How do I get to D? I want to go to D prime. So if I go to D prime, I'm going to the corner point. Now keep in mind we're going to the point of the flag, not the letter. So to get to D prime, I'm only going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go over 4 and up 7. That's the letter D prime. E prime, over 4 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You stop right there at the corner. So E prime is over 4, up 5. What I'd like to do is see if I can get you to help me figure out a pattern. We have done what they are describing as a horizontal translation. Horizontal translation is when you're sliding it across. Notice that we're sliding it in the X direction. Okay? We're sliding this in the X direction. Now, I want to point out something. Let's just look for patterns. I'd like to point out the Y's. I have 2 is a Y, 5, 7, 7, 5. Okay, on my new points, 2 is a Y, 5, 7, 7, 5. You notice anything about the y's? So the y's on the before compared to the y's on the after, okay, or the image and the pre-image coordinates, or the pre-image to the image coordinates, I believe if we write this in words, the y's stay the same. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. The second number is the y. It was comma 2, and then my new point is still comma 2. All right, for point B, it's comma 5, and in B prime, it's comma 5. So the y values didn't change at all. But the a values did. They all changed. So when we start looking at a's, I have a negative 5. It changed to 7. Negative 5 also changed to 7. A negative 5 changed to 7. And a negative 8 changed to 4. All right? There is a reason why they changed. We're trying to find that pattern. Well, I'd like to ask you to go back now and let's count and see how many units did we slide. Remember, a translation is when you slide a picture around the screen, okay? It does not actually change the flag. Notice that the flag has up and actually has the flag pointing to the left, and on the image, it actually goes up and has the flag pointing to the left. So these two images are said to be very much the same. In fact, we will use the vocabulary word congruent to describe the two flags. They are the same size and they are the same shape. Okay, same size, same shape. Okay, when I say same size and same shape, I mean like the distance from E to B, or E prime to B prime, is actually the same number of units as E to B. The angle that I see created, maybe perhaps right here, looks to be the same angle as that one, and it's true for the entire flag. The angles are all the same, the lengths are all the same. They are identical. They're twin flags. They're just one's a different place than the other. If I count from A to its new point, and I count all the way across here, I believe I count, okay, remember, don't count the point you start on, jump and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It looks like we went that way 12 units. Okay, 12 units. If I check in the other points, I believe I do the same thing. What if I go from B to the new point, B prime? Go across here. It's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one's also 12 units. What if I go from D to D prime, which is the corner to the corner, and I count that distance? Well, it turns out if I counted that one, I would also get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's also 12 units to the right. So here's what I need you to know. It looks like the y's stayed the same. Again, 5 stays 5. X's, though, moved. How did those X's move? Okay, or change would be a better way to describe it. Well, we've already said that it looks like we slid it 12 units to the right. I wonder what I would get if I added 12 units to the X's. So if I took negative 5 and I added 12, wow, I get positive 7. Well, it's the same thing for the next ones because that's the same value. Plus 5 or minus 5 plus 12 gives me 7. What about negative 8? Add 12. I end up with 4. Okay. All of those X values changed because we slid it across in the X direction 12 units to the right. So we're going to write that down as far as it says our rule written in words. Y stay the same. X's moved 12 to the right. Now, if I ask you, do you think that would be plus 12 or minus 12? I think we've actually answered that question. We took every X value and we added 12. Okay? All right, we're getting ready to write a symbolic rule in words. This is sometimes called your function rule, and every one of the transformations that we will do in this unit will have a function rule. This is the first function rule. So you're going to start with an X, comma, Y, and then we have an arrow. This represents your beginning X's and Y's. It's going to change. Now, how does it change? Well, it says Y's stayed the same. So I know my y's were listed second. So they didn't change at all. So y's will still be just a y. But it says x's moved 12 to the right. And we can interpret that as being x's, the number x's, add 12, okay? Which would be x plus 12, all right? X plus 12.